back to the Apatros review. In this episode, Bride of the Gorilla. Now, this film was a low-budget 1951 film directed by Kurt Siodmak, who also wrote the Wolfman script. It stars Raymond Burr, Barbara Payton, and Lon Chaney Jr. Now, this was available on many public domain labels, often in either mediocre or very poor quality prints. Even as man who is pure in heart and says his prayers by night may become a wolf when the wolfbane blooms and the autumn moon is bright. Now as for the story, Barney Chavez is a sleazy and hot-tempered rubber plantation foreman who has been secretly having been stringing along both his native girlfriend Lorena, Adina Van Gelder, the wife of the plantation owner. When her husband Klaas finds out about the affair and that Chavez has been negligent in his duties, he fires Chavez during dinner. Chavez decides to give his former boss a lesson. He waits until Klaas steps out of his mansion and punches him into the path of a deadly snake. Klaas dies, but his pet spider, which knows Al Long, watches the incident, waiting for Chavez to leave before she uses the leaves of an illegal and deadly plant to put a curse on Chavez. After marrying Dina, Chavez begins to hallucinate and go out at night to stalk the jungle, the locals believing that a mystical demonic creature known as the Sakura is killing their livestock. As Chavez gets more and more unpredictable and the locals setting up deadly traps, things don't look so good for the newly wedded couple. Now, Kurt Siodmak was a genre script and novelist with a good reputation amongst fans of early 20th century genre cheapies. Among his most well-known works was the script of the universal horror classic The Wolfman, and a novel that became the basis for the film Donovan's Brain. As for Bride of the Gorilla, Siodmak directs his first attempt he had at being a director, a cheap B-grade that was in essence closer to the original version of his script for The Wolfman. The central role of Barney Chavez was originally supposed to be played by Lon Chaney Jr., star of the Wolfman himself, but their roles were switched due to Chaney's deteriorating looks. Also notable was the fact that Edward G. Robinson Jr. was initially cast in production, but the producers fired him when they learned that his $138 check to a Laguna Beach garage bounced like a rubber ball, while the romantic interest role was given to Barbara Payton, a drop-dead gorgeous blonde actress who unfortunately had a bad run of luck in her private life. Bride of the Gorilla is Siodmak's attempt to make a Val Newton-style film, that is, a film that keeps the line of ambiguity while defining the supernatural element equally between something that is real and something that is purely in audience's heads. In other words, you can make up your own conclusions on what you saw in the movie, but the conclusions can go either way. As it stands, Siodmak doesn't quite nail the approach fully, but this film also doesn't fully deserve the bad movie status it has been lumped with for the past few decades. For a 69-year-old film, this ain't too shabby, and the production values are surprisingly good for such a cheap B-grader, and the acting, while probably in the mediocre arena, is competent enough to sell the dumb story as it is. Oops, did I say dumb story? Well, it's not entirely dumb, but the execution of the concept sure is dumber than a bag of hammers. The story is essentially a morality tale about a love rat's quest to snag his dream conquest of the moment, only to fall foul of his native conquest witchy relative. As far as morality tale goes, this one's reasonable but not good enough to be anything other than average. The visual effects are cheap and tacky, particularly the part where Bird punches his gorilla reflection in the mirror, which you saw earlier, and the punches don't quite line up perfectly enough to be convincing. Let's not even go into the idea of gorillas in an Amazonian jungle, as lame brain as that is. The ending is also a bit of a joke, as you can see, with a brief shot killing the Val Newton approach. And you just see that in a moment. See? Now, as for the gore report, no gore seen here unless you count a broken mirror. There's no nudity here either. Although Barbara Payton was a real looker in her prime, speaking of which, her penchant for affairs caused her husband at the time to hire a private detective to check on her and snag the photo of her and black actor Woody Strode in bed together. That chick sure got around. Anyway, this film is available on numerous public domain DVD releases and multi-packs. Or you can also catch it on YouTube if possible. Anyway, I'm your host Mila Sipka, and that's it for this review.